Hey people, Introtiered 53 Faction War. This is Cathari Ruins and Space Marines versus Orks. For the blue Space Marine team, we have Asmondeus with a Techmarine. Starts off in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, can also support the structures and repair. Looks like the Blood Angels elite scheme. Alongside Dark Riku with an Apothecary, support hero that fights in melee combat by default, begins with a heal and a passive health regeneration aura. And rounding off this team is Lindonin with a Force Commander. Very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt, and support. We got some Blood Ravens. For the red Orky team, AssMan is a Mekboy, teleporting a hero that fights in ranged combat, puts out some good damage, and has a bunch of Orky gadgets, just annoying those scouts there. Alongside, Crewfinity is a Kommando knob, infiltrating hero that shoots you, stabs you, and blows you up. Orky style, begins in ranged combat with a twin link shooter. Gonna harass some scouts as well, maybe. And rounding off the teams is BRAWLER with a Warboss, quite aptly named. This guy walks through objects and is incredibly angry with strong support, disruption, and damage output from the front lines. Looks like we have Orks grabbing the southwestern VP. No natural VPs on this map, so expect some triples, and you often get quicker games on Cathari Ruins. It's quite tight, so maybe the Space Marines should be getting ready for a brawl with some Assault Marines and stuff. Sluggers in amongst Tactical Marines. That was a dicey fight. Sluggers somehow got away with 4 models there. That was pretty amazing. Shooters with the Daka. Mekboy teleports behind to negate that cover. And the Orks, I think, are going to come away with some caps here. Techmarine being stubborn behind this light cover, so it's not super protected from all the Daka there. Meanwhile, southwest, Warboss misses the stomp on the Force Commander. Everything's chasing him down. Might see a heal thrown out here from the Apothecary. Nope. Take care of yourself, Mr. Force Commander. There we go. There's the heal from the Apothecary. Warboss now charges in with Now I'm Angry, which gives him some health regen and a pretty sizable damage bonus, as you can see there. 35%. Not sure how long the buff lasts for, though. Little bit more speed as well. Big old retreat from the Shooter Boys series. Double shooters from all of the Ork players, and now looters on the way for AssMan up in the northeast. I haven't seen AssMan use the name Hunter for many months now, so I guess I should stop saying previously known as Hunter, eh? Might see some melee here from the Tactical Marines. Triple should be able to deal with that, yep. Maybe a Flamer to go bash. No sign of one yet. Meanwhile, northeast. Scouts be running. They do have shotguns. They just shotgun blasted the Mekboy there. That's why he was suppressed. These guys need some cover. Uh-oh. Mekboy teleports in to tie them up with his Orky left hooks. Gives time for the sluggers to close the distance. Also for the looters to set up here. They have that death gun, which will suppress units in this firing arc, and doing lots of damage if they get close. Suppressing the Techmarine there. And I think AssMan's going to push through onto the power. It's only one gen, but still worth bashing. Not only do you hurt power income, but they also need to spend requisition to replace things. Oh, all the gens going up. Looks like AssMan is backing off here. I thought he'd creep forward with the looters, keep the melee pressure on with the Mekboy, and try to get some Daka on the power, but I guess they didn't think it was viable. Warboss charging on through makes him a great initiator when he has this Angry Bits. Kind of charge in, tank some damage, and wait for his Orks to get into shooting positions. Painboy is in play now from Crewfinity. Warboss does get away. He maybe charged a little bit early there. Especially great if he can put Ardboys on himself from his global bar. Grenade attempted by Dark Riku is well dodged, but those guys still run away. Didn't have any cover there. They are getting some light cover from these craters that the Warboss creates from using Now I'm Angry. Force Commander with the Storm Shield and Chainsword, or Chainsword and Storm Shield as it says. There you see the defend ability. Pretty damn good. They're going to get the Painboy here, you know. Painboy goes down. Sloppy play from Crewfinity there. Just losing sight of his sub-commander. The defend giving you suppression immunity and some resistance to ranged fire. Also gives him passive range damage resistance, which is pretty good. And more health, doesn't it? Yeah, 100 more health. And also makes his Chainsword slightly better. Really good piece of war gear, I think. Especially since it does affect your allies. We have use your choppers on the sluggers, but they're not using their choppers, they're using their burners. to burn down the generators. Meanwhile, northeast, it's still red. Asmondeus struggling to get on that VP right now. Does have double tax though. Burn us up on these sluggers. Mekboy is getting his big shooter, simply called Daka Daka Daka. Because why use any other words? Shotgun blast. Oh, grenade. That would have been nasty if those guys stayed in there. But they should be able to get at least one gen. Yeah, that's a pretty effective power bash. Who needs flamers when you have Daka? Gonna get all 3 gens, I think. Meanwhile, Space Marines have grabbed this wreck point, but they haven't grabbed any of the VPs. Look at that triple cap from the Orks. Devastators now for Lindonin. Also double tax for Dark Riku. With the customized Stormbolter, can use that to shut down the offense of the Warboss by stunning him. I don't think you stop his charge by stunning him. I think he'll still go. To slow it down with you know, movement impairing stuff or suppression. Maybe it does stop it. Maybe it just stops him dead. Oh, Techmarine went down. He does have the mastercrafted bolter, we can tell, because of the little target reticule indicator you can see there. Tactical Marines in melee combat, but looters were there, and so was the mech. Space Marines do have the central VP. And they are grabbing the southwest to try and get a hold of a 2-to-1. Flanking around is the Warboss. Any other war gear on this guy? Not yet. Dodges the grenade. It's a lot of bolter fire now all of a sudden. With 4 tactical marine squads. And the Apothecary himself, of course. And now Devastator's in play. Apothecary needs to get some cover. There we go. There's the full auto on the Warboss's face. As usual, I often say it, but they should be trying to focus fire the Apothecary with all the Daka they have. Haven't really seen it yet. He has such a big impact in team games, especially if he's allowed to level up and get that heal going. Oh, down goes the Kommando. Should get revived though, I think. Apothecary's single target heal gets better every level. I don't think his passive health regeneration gets better. Maybe it does. I don't think so. 315, 447. Maybe it should. Weird Boy on the way for Brawler. Quite a hard counter to most of this stuff with his big AoE stun and AoE ranged attack too. Apothecary, look how quickly he melts if you just focus fire that stuff. That's only double shooters on a Mekboy shooting him there. You can get him off the field pretty quickly. And even if you don't get him off the field, you force him to use his heal on himself. And then if he gets out of range or something, you can shoot something else and you know it can't be healed for a little while. Techmarine trying to get in on the looters. Sorry, the Force Commander trying to get in on the looters. Using his battle cry now. That was a good attack from the Weird Boy. There's the Warp Vomit with a big stun. Not only does it stun you, but it knocks you over. So if you do just hit retreat immediately, you're still going to take potentially a bunch of melee attacks in retreat mode as you lie on the floor. But the Space Marines prevail, I think. Dark Riku just splitting off those Tactical Marines because they got zapped, and the zap would have jumped to other friendly units. Tactical Marines meleeing the shooters. I'm not sure if they're going to get the power bash they were looking for. I mean, they bashed a bit of it. But sluggers now have their knob leaders, making them exponentially more dangerous. This guy is mean as hell. 350 hit points and 65 power melee DPS, I believe, these days. Unless it was nerfed at some point. But it's a lot of power melee for a big old orc fella. What are those guys doing? They have a flamer and they're bashing the node up there. Looks like Asmondeus is getting some control in the northeast. Gonna be a 2-to-1, I think, if the orcs get the mid. Dark Riku runs off with these tactical marines, but does have devastators from Lindonin covering, but they're going to be knocked over. Boom. And that hit all 3 models. Look at the damage it did. Decent grenade on the VP there from Lindonin. Got 2 models off those sluggers. The Weird Boy's basic attack does do friendly fire, which is often to the detriment of the sluggers as they run in. Some more Blood Raven Tactical Marines from Lindonin. Most likely, at least one of these guys is going to turn into Stern Guard, you would think. There's that defend, just popping it on and off to protect against the weird way attacks. Warboss charging in. Now they can turn and help him out, but look at the protection the shield offers. And when it's active, the Force Commander himself is basically unkillable with Daka. Just shrugs it off. Because I assume the defend bonus stacks with his own 20% range damage reduction, although I'm not certain of that. Certainly seem to. 270 to 379. Also has, of course, Artificer Armor to make him a bit tougher and give him some health regen. Oh, is the Zap going to jump to the Apothecary here? It does. Apothecary's got into trouble. Oh, those some friendly fire from that weird boy attack on the Sluggers. Heals himself and runs. Plasma Devastators getting absolutely wrecked. The double weird boy is really putting out some damage. Stone Guard veterans there from Dark Riku. We did not see any from Lindonin actually. Trying to get onto the power, are they? There's a big foot of Gork. That would wipe out Devastators, I believe. Level 1 Devastators if they didn't retreat there, and it hits all 3 models. There's a lot of damage. Warp Vomit for the Force Commander. Getting a lot of value out of this Chainsword and Storm Shield, I think. That was a really well-timed double Warp Vomit, one after the other, to keep them chain stunned for ages. Force Commander unable to get into melee. But nothing died. I don't think anything died there. Because of that defendability being so good. Here's a Whirlwind from Lindonin. Some indirect fire and killed some shooter boys there. It's relatively inaccurate, but does really good disruption over a relatively large area. Just not super reliable. I mean, it generally gets what you want done, I think. At least one missile will hit the squad you're targeting, I think, generally. Grenade on the looters, but they're going to get away, and the Space Marines can retake their southwest. Looks like they're going to retake the northeast too. Warboss gets the mid. He's got his spiky armor now for more health regen, and the, you know, spikiness hurts you if you melee him. Kommando, no war gear for Crewfinity's Kommando. Feel like we haven't seen a lot of shenanigans from this guy, a lot of stun bombs and stuff. Maybe I've just missed them. Entirely possible. Whirlwind is going to sit on the southwestern VP. Maybe, I think if it sits around here, it could hit both. Although that's kind of far forward. 169 to 362, triple cap for the Space Marines. Orks are hitting tier 3 though. And that means flash kits and or knobs, which are generally very effective against Space Marines in team game scenarios, at least. Here's a Librarian from Lindonin. Lindonin's got a lot of units to look after here. Space Marines pushing. Now the Force Commander with the Sacred Standard, loving this build. This support Force Commander here. And there's the advanced healing from the Apothecary. How are you going to beat this blob? Need some flash kits for that burst damage, I think. The Daka's not going to cut it here. With defend up and advanced healing, they're not going to be able to Daka through that. Sluggers, more friendly fire. Yeah. Maybe trying to get a very early Warp Vomit so that they can't use their abilities, because you can't use abilities while you're stunned most of the time. We'll see how it goes. He's got the Foot of Gork as well for a big burst of damage. Here comes the tier 3, and it's neither Orks nor Flash Kits out the gate. It's Commandos for AssMan and a looted tank for Crewfinity. They can respond with tons of AV very quickly, the blue team, because all the tanks could get missile launchers, although it's 35 power a pop. The Whirlwind does have the Hunter Killer missile. They've got Devastators that could get a las cannon. And I should be looking at the actual fighting here. Big retreat from Dark Riku. Probably missed something cool. It was probably a Foot of Gork that came in and they retreated away from it. Too busy talking about anti-vehicle. And the Force Commander could get his fist, you know. But I like what he's got going on here, this Force Commander. Zap on the Whirlwind, which jumps to the scouts there. That weird boy retreated. I guess he's a little bit low. Looted tank there. It's not a bad tank. 650 hit points, goes up to 850 when you get reinforced plating, and it's got that disruptive big boom shot, which might be useful against a big blob of Marines over there. Lindonin with some Devastators staying in tier 2, but tier 3 for Asmondeus and Dark Riku. The VPs are very close. Just a 20 odd VP lead for the red Ork team. Not even that. Warboss taking the southwest. So they are going to get a 2-to-1 cap. Grabbing their natural rec point back. And this contested one too. No attempt to go onto the power from the Orks, and I think that's smart. They want to be able to stabilize slightly on the VP if they can. They've got that tank now as fire support. Lots of bolter fire from Lindonin's triple tactical Marines over there. Looks like Lindonin lost their Devastators along the way. Foot of Gork. Boom. Steel knocks you down if you retreat. Does not mess around the Foot of Gork. Mekboy's almost level 4. Sluggers getting messed up in retreat by Stern Guard using their Hellfire rounds. These guys can change their ammo types to combat all targets. They've also got box magazines and scopes, which is quite cool. Hellfire doing damage over time. It's like acid or something, I think. Brawler maybe looking a little bit depleted compared to everyone else with just 4 units on the field. But they are tier 3, and that's a good Warp Vomit. Allows the Sluggers to close, and there's a Rocks. Little bit long to retreat there, Lindonin. That was a big hit on the Tactical Marines. Did any of them wipe though? Trying to use advanced healing there, Dark Cricket, to help them out. I don't think any of them wiped. But they did lose, yeah, 2 models each on those guys. Could have been a lot worse. If they weren't level 3 and level 2, I think they would have wiped out completely from them big rocks. Some friendly fire from the plasma cannon. Sluggers be running. Looks like they're going to make it out. Of course, Kommando continues to lead the line with that shield going. What's this? Commando's running away from scouts. I guess he got shotgunned or something. Techmarine level 4 with the Master Crafted Bolter. And some Terminators for Asmondeus. Storm Bolters and Power Fists. By default, you can get them a specialized weapon as well. But they do pretty good without it. Have their inspiration on kill effect. So have them target something that's easy to kill, or at least easy to take models off. Stern Guard using the Vengeance rounds here for Dark Riku to target the power node. Also good against the tank. Good versus super heavy infantry and vehicles. Orks don't have any super heavy infantry, so it's only good against a looted tank really. Warboss charging in. Taking some friendly fire, of course, from the Warboss. We do have missile launcher up also for Dark Riku. He must be saving for a Land Raider or something. Yeah, needs the power. Needs a little bit more power for a Land Raider. Uh-oh, burner bomb on these devs, and Dark Riku's not watching here. I don't think they're going to get away. No. Another Foot of Gork forcing the retreat. Would have really struggled without these weird boys, you know. Because of the big blob of Marines, they're really good at dealing with big blobs of infantry. Nob Squad on the way for Crewfinity. Dark Riku had a Nob Squad on the way. That'll be some severe heresy going on. What is this? Oh, it's the Whirlwind of Lindonin. Does the Librarian have any upgrades? Nope. Still starts with Veil of Time these days, and of course his quickening ability. Friendly fire? No, they escaped the friendly fire. Orks are capping the mid. They also grabbed the southwest. 119.64. It's a lead now for the Space Marines, but a 2-to-1 is against them. It's really close actually. Dark Riku with a Land Raider Redeemer on the way. It's going to take a while to get out. I think they have like a 75-second build time, Land Raiders. There's a lot of time in Dawn of War 2. Nob Squad is up for Crewfinity. You see them in the background there. This guy can go toe-to-toe with anything in the game. They have their Mina and Greeno, but they don't have their Nob Leader and they don't have their U-Jammers. They are very expensive to fully upgrade. Force Commander forced to retreat. Warboss trying to get the cap again. Nob Squad going straight for the Terminators. And Terminators without Lightning Claws will get torn apart by a Nob Squad, especially if they are supported and fully upgraded, which these guys are not fully upgraded yet. It's a big old Mega Rumbler, which is very, very bad news for Terminators. Terminators cannot retreat, so if you stun them, there's nothing they can do about it. They can't even use their teleport while they're stunned. It's always been a really hard counter to Terminators, being able to stun them. Which is why the Inquisitor's so good at dealing with them. Shotgun Blast, which was quite well done. They're still chasing. Uh-oh. Here come Assault Terminators now from Lindonin. These guys are unique to the Force Commander. And if they get their Lightning Claws, all of a sudden, it's going to be the Nob Squad that's fearful of getting into melee with stuff. Looks like the Terminators of Asmondeus did not drop a model. They've got the Cyclone Missile Launcher, which I'm sure you spotted being used earlier. 60 to 64. Orks have the double. That was a good push there, which allowed them to get that VP. It's going to be a triple cap, you know. There's going to be a triple. Have the Space Marines run out of time? There it is. Land Raider is in the mid. But is it a little bit too late? Looted Tank is almost down. Oh, Warboss knocked them off the cap there. I see a Rocks up here. Just keeping them off the cap. That's a strong triple. Can they see this out right now? Right here, right now. They might be able to. Is that another Rocks? It is. Trying to go for the Land Raider. And there's a... Was that yet another one? Oh no, that was a Foot of Gork, I think, going in. Single cap is enough. The Orks get it. The Orks get it. There's a little smash and grab at the end there. I feel like if there was another 10 minutes, the Space Marines might have got themselves into a position to power through with the Land Raider and the Assault Terminators and the Apothecary getting level 6. But the Orks smashed it and grabbed it. Level 3 Kommando with no war gear from Crewfinity. Come on now. Warboss was down. Level 4. Level 4 Techmarine. Level 6 Apothecary. And a level 5 Force Commander. Relatively short one, but very enjoyable, I think. Very brutal action. I love the big blob of Marines. I like the Force Commander play. And the Weird Boys were pretty awesome too. Got level 3 and level 2 on those fellas. Oh, we did have double flash kits as well from Brawler, so... I mean, it wasn't guaranteed if it went on, but the longer it went on, I think the more advantage goes to the Space Marines in general. But there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Big thanks to these players for taking part in the event and for Impregnable or for organising things. I'll see you in the next one.